Hello, in this special edition of Ear Biscuits, we just wanted to let you know up top and unequivocally how much we love our children, love spending time with them, and how much we welcome them into not all aspects of our lives, but all the appropriate aspects of our lives. I'm making this weird. It'll make more sense when we get into the episode because this is at the top of the episode. It's not right now in the middle where I'm actually saying it.
To clarify, we love them, we just don't always like them. Is that how it? Boop. Welcome to Ear Biscuits, I'm Rhett.
And I'm Link. This week at the round table of dim lighting, we're gonna get cooking like it's the heat of summer. Talking about summertime.
We didn't pay for that. We didn't license
It's
that.
a summer, I made that song up.
It was an original.
Slightly a different
I think that's
tune.
illegal. I think it's illegal to make that claim.
Oh gosh.
You know, we are gonna be talking about summer, answering some summer related questions, talking a little bit about what we're doing this summer.
What we've done in past summers, I think.
Yeah, one of the things I'm doing this summer is I raised my mic up about an inch.
Your back is more arched in like an odd kind of a way.
Well, I tend to hunch. I've hunched most of my life, you know. I like to seem normal. I'm not, but I like to seem normal. I like to blend in. And so I tend to bring myself down. But you know what? It's summer 2018, man. I'm going up an inch.
Gotta arch that back.
Is this what it feels like to be you?
If I had good posture, yeah. I mean,
I feel like my nipples are gonna pop through my freaking teleshirt. Teleshirt.
What were you combining?
Well, because I have a television character on my t-shirt.
No, you don't.
Yeah, Cotton Candy Randy. I use television in the broad sense. This what is happening right now is television. You tell me what part, now for those of you who are watching, what part of what's happening right now is not television?
Every part.
Break it down. It's vision and it's tele.
Well, this show is more of a teleplay. Well, it's a radio play. Who cares? We're talking about summer.
Summer.
And yeah, you're already hunching. Lower your mic back down.
No, I like it up.
We're in the middle of a summer that has been well orchestrated. I mean,
or orchestrated. It's been both.
That's what I said, orchestrated.
You used a G.
Oh, you're saying I say orchestrated wrong?
Yeah, it's orchestrated, but it's cool. I mean, both
well
work.
Orchestrated. As you notice, I've said it many times and I haven't changed it at all because I'm emphatically staking my claim.
What do you call a group of people playing instruments?
An orchestra.
No, that's a group of people playing instruments who are donating their organs. An orchestra. That's when an orchestra plays to for people's organs. Like it's like a fundraiser for organs.
What do you call a group of?
Or only organs are being played, like pipe organs.
What do you call a group of trees that are intentionally planted in rows and then they grow fruit?
A tree farm?
Like peaches or apples.
Oh, an orchard.
Right.
An orchard.
Last summer, we were talking about this summer.
It's weird how that happened.
We were talking about what we wanted the summer of 2018 to be like in the midst of 2017.
We didn't want it to be like 2017. We wanted it to be different.
Summer is different than a summer we've had in a long time.
Mission accomplished, man.
We're accomplishing a mission. For the past 2 summers, we worked on Good Mythical Morning and shot it in such a way and kind of planned breaks. 2 summers ago, we didn't do Good Mythical Summer. Last summer is when we did Good Mythical Summer with Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday guest hosts so that we could bank episodes and then film buddy system. Season 1, 2 summers ago, season 2, last summer, and we just catapulted ourselves out of our weekly routine of filming Good Mythical Morning into just a very aggressive production schedule making Buddy System a reality.
Well, and while we were filming Buddy System, we were preparing for two different things. We were preparing for our tour, which was right on the heels of Buddy System. And we were also preparing for the expanded version of Good Mythical Morning and like interviewing people, and like we wouldn't even eat lunch while we were shooting Buddy System. We would like have interviews.
And I guess we were doing this show. And I think talking about it some. Last summer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we were talking about how, man, this is just crazy.
Well, and we talked
we should go back and listen to that, and then that'll make us appreciate it even more, because, you know, as we try to develop this discipline of stopping and celebrating.
We had to crew host the podcast.
That's right, that's what we did. In order to gain some time to do the other stuff. Just trying to orchestrate the habit.
We were orchestrating like you would not believe.
Of stopping and celebrating. So I kind of feel like I want to assess whether we're doing that. And I think you already have said that we are. I mean, this summer it's a lot more laid back for us, which is so great. I mean, we said I want to plan a vacation that's more than a week, and let's go to Australia. And then that was kind of the start of, okay, there's some work involved. We're gonna do some tour of Mythicality stops in Australia, but then the vast majority of the time we're gonna have our families there. We're gonna be in vacation mode at the end of July. It's gonna be, I can't wait.
Don't build it up too much though, because that vacation buildup syndrome is something that I suffer from. Most people suffer from it.
VBS.
Yeah, it's not Vacation Bible School anymore.
No.
It's vacation buildup syndrome. And you think that it's going to be great. You begin measuring everything according to when you're going to be on vacation. And then you begin to think, I'll be happy when I'm on vacation. Then you inevitably get on vacation. It takes you several days to adjust to being on vacation. And then you have this extended period of like not quite met expectations, and then the next thing you know, you're going back home, and then you're looking forward to the next vacation. You can't let that happen.
Can't let it happen.
You have to think it's going to suck. It's gonna suck when we go to Australia. It's gonna be the worst time ever. Now we're in the perfect place.
It's gonna be your fault.
It's gonna be your fault.
It can't be both of our faults, and I said it was yours.
Well, it could be your fault for me and my fault for you.
Deal.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's just make it the kids' fault. They'll be there.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna
definitely be their
make
fault.
us miserable. We shouldn't even take them. What are we thinking?
But too late.
Yeah.
I mean, can we resell the tickets on like some sort of scalping situation?
What?
Can we scalp plane tickets?
No, you have to be. It has to be the name that is attached to the ticket.
True.
You can't even. If once you buy a ticket, if you want to just change the person, like if we decided that, you know, we wanted to take one of our kids' friends instead of one of our kids because they like did something wrong, always a chance that'll happen.
I always tell my kids that I'd rather be with their friends.
Then you can't do that. The airlines make it very difficult. Trust me, I've tried to replace my kids with other kids many times last minute before vacations.
We feel that way, but then we also love our kids dearly, and we're kind of joking, okay?
Kind of.
I'm glad that we're bringing them, at least at this point.
It's gonna be great, but it's gonna be bad.
Their fault.
It's gonna be bad.
Their fault.
It's gonna be horrible at the same time.
But I'm proud of us that in our commute back from filming Buddy System, we were just commiserating about how exhausted we were. We're like, you know what, next summer is gonna be different. And you know what? We had the discipline to follow through, and look, it is different. And so I just wanted to assess, how do you feel? I felt a little lost, honestly.
I feel great. Like
not having something that I have to film basically every single day. I just kind of feel like, oh my gosh, what do I do with myself?
Well, you said it is laid back. I think, and I'm not trying to be like, we are working really hard. We
are working.
What we're working on is something that we haven't, we're working on things in a way that we haven't worked on anything in a while. Probably since like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So since things kind of got going once we moved to California, it's been one thing after the other and multiple things at a time usually.
Mm-hmm.
But we always kind of knew exactly what the next thing was going to be. And while we are working on some things right now that we can't yet talk about, the main thing that we're doing is we are developing other ideas. Like what we've always done is we've gotten an opportunity to do something and then we filled it with an idea. But we're actually sitting around talking about all kinds of ideas and all kinds of different outlets, different media, and we're developing these ideas. We're actually talking about them, developing worlds, developing characters, fleshing them out, writing things up. Mm-hmm. We're having meetings to try to make some of those things a reality. But it's the summer of like lining things up and just throwing them at the wall and seeing if something sticks. And I'm having an incredible time. But it is also the kind of thing because it's not.
It's all speculative. So for me, I tend to overanalyze whether anything that we're working on, if none of this amounts to anything, which I don't believe that. And I get excited about the things that we talk about because it's such a mode that we've usually just kind of crammed in. Like if we're in the car going somewhere and one of us, I had this idea, and then it just kind of percolates a little bit, but having dedicated time to just sit on a couch or then go to lunch. Like we've gone to lunch. We've left this facility and we've gone to lunch. And then a couple times when the food was done, we're like, that was over, lunch was done. We should have gotten up and left.
We stayed.
You know what? I'm gonna get a coffee and stay here a little longer. I feel like an actor. You know how like around here in Los Angeles, you see just all times of the day, you just see people sitting places, drinking coffees.
Yeah.
These are actors.
Good looking people that look like they should be actors.
And I think that they're like commercials, but they're not currently, I'm not currently on a commercial, but I make a buttload of money from like a Zerbert Skibert commercial.
Zerbert Skibert, it's my favorite brand of tennis balls.
Right.
Have you tried the new Zerbert Skibert tennis balls?
It's two guys.
Now with twice the bounce.
Who they each were making their own
Zerbert
tennis
Skibert.
balls. Zerbert made a tennis ball that was really bouncy. Hey, I had like the perfect bounce, but then it didn't have the right texture. And then Skibert, he had this.
Skibert or Skirbert?
Skirbert.
Skirbert.
Zerbert and Skibert.
But I say Skirbert.
Well, you're mispronouncing his name.
Well, it's an orchestra
It's written on the tennis ball.
Zerbert Skirbert.
Skibert.
I think it's spelled the same way. How do you spell Skirbert?
S-K-I-R-R-R B-I-R-T.
Skirbert.
Skirbert.
Yeah, so now you're back with what I said.
Zerbert and Skibert. That's how you say it. And Skibbert's ball had the perfect fuzz on the outside. It had what they call Skibert fuzz. But it didn't have that Zerbert bounce. And then somebody, I think it was Nancy.
Who's she?
The CEO.
Oh.
She said, let's bring you two together and hyphenate these two.
Oh, you're
companies.
talking about the hyphenated Zerbert Skirbert? I'm talking about the unhyphenated Zerbert Skirbert. This whole time I've been talking about the unhyphenated ones. The one that was popular in the 70s.
Moot point.
Oh, sorry.
Zerbert Skibbert is the perfect tennis ball. And then they got this jerk guy in Los Angeles, like in the commercials, can't even serve properly. You notice that?
Yeah.
He's a good talker though.
Yeah.
I could tell that he didn't memorize his lines, that he was like reading them off a cue card.
Yeah, but who cares?
But he's still getting resids. He's getting all the resids.
But when he's not collecting
and now he's coasting,
He's
man.
just drinking coffee.
He's sitting down on
next to us. Yeah.
Eating a crepe.
Oh, Coenga.
And that was us for a little while.
I thought you were talking about the guy on Fairfax. You're talking about the guy that was in the Zerbert Skirbert commercial on Coenga. I'm talking about the guy that was in the Zerbert Skirbert commercial on Fairfax.
Is there two commercials? I thought
yeah.
There is, you're right, but
I'm talking about the blonde guy.
Oh, you know what? I thought he was wearing a wig. I thought it was the same guy.
Yeah.
Why didn't they use the same guy and just put a wig on him?
Well, different markets.
Right.
One's for Maine and then one's for the rest of the continental United States.
The wig does look like a mane, like a lion's mane. It goes down on either side. It's kind of like, you know, what's that headpiece that a pharaoh wears?
A pharaoh?
What? Now you gonna tell me I don't know how to say pharaoh?
No, you said it right, but
what?
I don't know, it just made me laugh.
Pharaoh, it sounded like a
pharaoh. Let my people go, Pharaoh.
His wig was shaped like like a pharaoh headpiece, but it's hair, of course.
Yeah, I think it's pharaoh.
Pharaoh.
I mean, I don't know.
You were thinking of Pharrell, the artist.
Anyway,
we were kind of like that guy.
Yeah, we're just like those guys.
Just sitting there, drink. The waiter came by and was like, Can I take your? And we're like, yeah. And you know what? I'd like a cappuccino.
I got a couple of teas. I double teed one day. I got tea, and then I got another tea. That's how good I'm feeling right now.
A new bag or a new entire? I didn't
New
notice.
Water, new bag.
And we're talking about ideas. Like, this would be a great television show. This would be a great movie. No limits.
Yeah, so the chances that any of the stuff that we're talking about right now actually becomes a reality is
beside the point.
Not slim, but it's probably the next idea, which is a little unusual for us because again, when you do stuff on the internet, even with the stuff that we've done with YouTube, like with Buddy System, we ended up getting a show on YouTube Red before anyone knew what the show was. I mean, that's you know,
that's the truth.
That's how it went down. It was like, do you guys have an idea? We're like, yeah, we got an idea. Let's come up with an idea.
Buddy comedy, scripted. It's gonna have musical elements.
And this is this process.
The pitch was backwards,
which is kind of
non-existent. Going
through the more traditional process of, you know, talking to gatekeepers about ideas.
That's right. They won't even let us on studio lot, so we just talking to the guy who at the gate.
Yeah, it's a different process.
Not what you mean.
But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Even if it's
I get inside my head a lot in terms of, because my personality type, I keep a running record of like, have I accomplished enough today? Do I feel like I've earned the right to go to bed tonight? I think it's something that it's subconscious for me. So I have to make an active decision, kind of like what you're talking about being on vacation. There's that transition period. I'm still kind of in that in terms of what our summer is, but.
Well, it's gonna be over before you know it, so you better start enjoying it soon.
And it's gonna be your fault. But I do think that some of the ideas or these will lead to something. While Good Mythical Morning continues to go, or to stay. I don't mean, you know what I'm saying? I feel like whenever we talk about something that's not Good Mythical Morning, there's a certain person that we need to reassure that it's not gonna have a negative impact on Good Mythical Morning.
Well, certain person be reassured that Good Mythical Morning is not going anywhere. You wanna answer some summer questions?
Yeah, we have summer questions from you. I think we'll get to many of those.
But first, we want to remind you that you can go over to mythical.store to meet all your life needs.
Your life need may be a Let's Talk About That shirt. Check it out.
That's the back. The front has a sort of a version of the GMM logo. The back has that catchphrase that we always say at the beginning of every show.
Mm-hmm. Might be the name of another show that we're developing.
It could be. It might be. We don't want to.
That shows up. It definitely is. It shows up on the weekends.
I think that's actually
the relaunch of Good Mythical Morning.
I think that's been announced through some outlets. Yeah, there's going to be a Saturday show.
There was some article, and we didn't announce it, but I'm sorry if that's how you heard about it. But now we're talking about it.
Yeah,
just casually.
Every Saturday, when GMM comes back for season 14, there's going to be a show called Let's Talk About That, where we talk about the show with Stevie.
I don't know what it's going to be. We've only started to talk about what it might be. Yeah. And I'm pretty excited.
I'm very excited. I also have the cotton
I'm really
candy.
excited not knowing what it's going to be, even as we do it. I think that's part of the premise. I'll go that far.
I'm gonna know what's going on, but Link won't. This is the cotton candy.
If you want to know more about anything we're working on, just continue to read Variety.
The Cotton Candy Randy t-shirt that says Hi Daddies, also available at mythical.store. And you may see this if you follow the social media over the Rhett and Link accounts and the Mythical accounts. If you hashtag, if you take a picture of yourself in some Mythical apparel, and then you hashtag it with the word Mythical, you may get featured on the Mythical account. We're doing that now.
Follow Mythical Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's get to some questions. Summer theme related, help you guys out, and then maybe reveal some things about ourselves in the process.
Reza Rezwan, my friend and I have been talking about having an adventurous summer because we've always lived a boring life.
Oh, well.
We want to do something exciting and dangerous. What are some new experiences that my friend and I should try while also not spending too much money as we are college students?
Exciting and dangerous. Put this down.
No, I want to hold it right.
But you're almost blocking my shot. Hold it right there. For some reason when you said exciting and dangerous, the first thing I thought about, and I think it's great advice, is get a kayak. You and your friend get a kayak and go on a river excursion. I'm talking about like rapids situation.
This is 2018. I think we should probably give a disclaimer. If you get a kayak and then you end up injuring yourself or dying because you're in a kayak.
Well, she said dangerous.
You're the one who asked. You wanted dangerous activities. Well, we are not responsible for your kayaking, okay?
No, we're not. That being said, you should definitely get a kayak because it's extreme and dangerous.
When I was
That's what we did.
And I was in middle school at the time that our friend Ben talked us into getting kayaks, and I went to get a kayak from I don't remember where I bought it.
Well, you're too big for a kayak. I mean,
I couldn't
put it on a kayak is like putting on a sock.
I couldn't find, especially where we were at, I couldn't find a kayak that could fit me that had the proper internal parts of a kayak. So I got an old school kayak, which was shaped like a kayak.
Let's clarify what internal parts are.
There's
bladders.
Well, not only that, there's places for your feet. Like there's places that your feet rest. This kayak did not have those things. Then also there are the flotation parts on the inside.
So we're talking balloons inside of the front and back of the kayak so that even if it fills with water, and it will, when you pop out of it and struggle to maintain your life force, it will not sink because it's filled with these bladders that are filled with air, not urine.
And my kayak did not have these. So what I did,
because yours was like a 1970.
It was very old.
It was a covered top canoe.
It was
basically
like a canoe that had a top on it, but it had a hole just for me. So what I ended up doing is, first of all, I christened it the USS Merle.
You painted that
and painted the USS Merle with the stencil on the side. And then I found in my attic, all this foam from like the previous residents of my parents' house. In the attic, there was just all this, like a box of pieces of foam, like yellow flexible foam.
Okay,
and I took a bunch of trash bags, filled them up with the foam, tied them off, double bagged them, and just stuffed them into the insides of the kayak. That was my flotation.
I went to REI in Cary. They had like a bulletin board. It said kayak for sale in Durham. I went to Durham and I bought the Matador off of some college student from Duke University. Brought it back, nestled down in that thing. It had flotation that had tubing where you'd blow in a long straw and like you would pump up the flotation. But then I remember the first time I got it, it like had a bunch of, it smelled very mildewy.
Yeah, those Duke students have a lot of mildew problems.
When I opened up the flotation thing to blow more air into it, the Duke college students' air came out.
Oh, Duke air?
Into my face, like Duke student, Duke undergraduate lung air.
It's a little smart.
Pretentious.
A little pretentious. like really hoping to get into a good graduate program. It smells of a little bit of desperation and also a lot of like pressure from parents their entire lives.
Right, and he needed the money, so there was a lot of desperation coming out of that bladder.
Yeah.
But man, we took those things on the river. We would go down to Irwin on the river. I mean, how long of a trip was that? It was probably a 4-hour trip on our kayaks.
It took half the day. A lot of that was just very slow river.
Yeah, but then
there would be some very intense rapids right when you got to the end in Irwin.
Denim capital of the world, they say. Yeah. He used to make a lot of jeans there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you made it, if you got to shore there would be people, men, women, children. Lots of children would just give you jeans. It was just like when you land in Hawaii and they give you Lays. Mm-hmm. They put jeans on you.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah, and we that's why we always went pantsless.
Right.
While kayaking, because we knew if we got to Irwin, they'd give us the jeans.
And if we didn't make it, they'd just find us floating dead in our undies.
So get a kayak, that's your advice?
I mean, at flood stage, I've definitely turned over. There's times when like instead of kayaking around trees, you're going through the tops of the trees in flood stage. We did that. So stupid.
We did a lot of things that, our summers were filled with a lot of things that.
Danger.
Not advisable. We're probably about to get to another one. Shelby Austin, what's your opinion on water shoes for adults? I personally won't step into a body of water where I can't see my feet in it without them. #no shame.
Well, if there's any way we can bring shame into the equation, I would love to do it right now because I'm against water shoes. It's just like those didn't exist when we were frolicking in the water. I mean, in the river, just to stay in the river here, we would wear our tennis shoes. We would have river tennis shoes.
You had a pair of shoes that had a pair of shoes that you had fully worn out on land that now became river shoes.
And you would not wear socks, and then you just lace them really tight. And that is difficult. It's difficult to swim in tennis shoes, but you don't really have to swim as much as just don't die.
If we had only had water shoes. If water shoes had been a thing, we probably would have worn them.
Ben wore duck shoes, like the rubber shoes that then turn into leather at the top.
Yeah.
He wore those duck boots.
Those had like an insulating layer in them too.
I know, they were like winter shoes, but he wore them all the time.
And you wore them in the river.
Yeah. I don't know. Once those things fill up with water, it's like wearing 2 liquid anchors. Crazy, man.
But fashion, in terms of fashion, I've yet to see a person look respectable in water shoes. I will say that.
When we did the Will It Slip and Slide episode, we needed some grippy shoes, and Daniel gave us those. They're not water socks. They had the individual toes, but they were like, what are those things?
They're kind of like, I think they're a form of water sock.
I felt a little self-conscious wearing those, but also it was kind of neat. So I think if you're gonna do it, these are not technically aqua shoes, water socks, or whatever you're calling them. But if you get those like individual toe shoes things, you're gonna look like a dummy, but it's pretty cool.
But I do think you shouldn't get into a body of water
if you're the one wearing
where you can't see your feet. Barefoot water shoes is what those are called. Thank you, Jacob, for the clarification. I don't think you should, I do agree with Shelby's assessment that you should not get into a body of water where you can't see your feet without some sort of covering. I don't know how we never got hurt all the time that we spent in the Cape Fear River with no real, this is a serious river, serious rapids.
Water moccasins.
No life jackets. We were walking across the rapids, swimming down the rapids, and we had some like technique that we developed. We were like, you gotta keep your feet forward and keep your hands up, which is true. But there's just a lot of good fortune that got us back and forth across that river thousands of times.
And we found
without getting into any trouble.
Yeah, so in Bowie's Creek, there's that set of rapids there that we would spend most of our time. We knew like there was a secret water hole that was probably 10 feet deep, even though everything around it was like 3 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
We'd swim there, that was pretty cool. But then we would also go down the river further, and not all the way to Irwin, there was that place that had the huge rocks, and we would swim there, and they had these places that we would call them jacuzzis. You know, where the rapids would it would eddy back on themselves, and basically the water would churn and dig a hole, and if the river was at the right level, some rocks would be exposed such that there was a lot of water spilling into this hole and then churning around, and one person could fit in at a time, and you could hold your breath and go underwater, remember? And put your head under the waterfall and breathe under there.
Well, we were doing that
crazy.
After we graduated college, we went down to Irwin and we did that. And remember, you got stuck.
Oh, my foot got stuck.
One of your feet got stuck.
And that's how you die.
And it was, there was a panic situation because we're in the middle of this river and I'm like, oh, his foot is stuck. And you eventually got free. This is crazy, this makes me think, I just read this news article today. There's a river in Arkansas where apparently it's not uncommon in Arkansas for sinkholes to open up in the riverbed.
Good Lord.
And these people are like kayaking or rafting or something.
So like the river just disappears? Like
No. Sinkhole in the middle of the river formed a whirlpool that started taking someone down. And a guy saved people, but then the guy who saved people went down and died. Like this happened yesterday. I saw this like the headline. I didn't read too many of the details.
Maybe he'll pop up. Maybe he's not dead.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
Yeah, sinkhole.
Yeah, but we never saw any of that.
Sinkholes are jerks, man. No warning. Like email or something. Just send a warning. There's a ramp onto the highway, and I noticed the other day it said it's like a construction ramp, and it says this ramp will be closed intermittently between February 2017 and March 2018. And of course, it's after March. That's a big swath of time.
And we're beyond it.
And we're beyond it, and the sign is still up. And by the way, they're still closing that ramp sometimes.
Intermittently.
I mean, but I think they should take the sign down.
Well, they should adjust the sign.
I got one. Brianna Schmid. What do you do?
She did?
What do you and your wives do to keep the kids from bickering all summer? Good question. She says, we have a pool, a trampoline, and an Xbox. Well, okay. You go, Brianna. You got it. We got all that stuff to keep them entertained, but they still manage to drive each other and me, emphasis on me, nuts, fighting over the smallest things. They are 10, 6, and 3, all girls. Oh gosh. Well, first of all, mine are 8, 13, and 15, and it don't stop. So don't get your hopes up that the bickering over the smallest things is gonna stop.
No.
I love my kids, but I know we've already laid into them at the top of this thing, but.
Well, what we have discovered.
I don't have a trampoline.
We have discovered, now
I would have thought maybe that was the thing, but Brianna's saying it's not.
I've had all of these things at some point in my life. Currently have a pool and an Xbox, had a trampoline.
Well, you go.
In my past. You also have an Xbox and a pool, but
I'm not talking about it.
Talking about it.
I also have an Instagram account.
This is a point. I'm just trying.
Use it.
I'm just trying to relate to Brianna here, so I can say that I feel qualified to answer this question. We have discovered the wonders of summer camp. We heard about these people.
We
heard about these people who were like, we send our kids off for a month.
We're like, what?
A month? It's like, it was like 6 weeks.
And then somebody else.
2 months. It was they were bidding. They began bidding on how long the kids are gone.
Sometimes they come back, we don't quite remember their names. And we're like, what? That's a long time. And most of them were like in the Northeast.
Northeast, apparently.
It's a Northeast thing.
Northeastern people don't like their kids. Northeastern people like their kids less than we like our kids, apparently.
And this goes back to when we were, if we lived in the Northeast, we would have gone to these camps. It's like boarding school.
Yeah.
But everybody loves it. The kids love it, and I have to assume the adults love it. It's a win-win. I mean, it might hurt the wallet. So the wallet doesn't win.
But if you've already got a pool, a trampoline, and an Xbox, it shouldn't be a problem.
So yeah, Rhett's exactly right. We started like, put our heads together. We're like, let's talk about these camps. Let's get our kids into these camps. It's like, well, maybe we could talk them into camps. Because for us, camps were just, there was one summer between, I don't know when it was, we could figure it out, but that ubiquitous photo of the two of us as kids with the purple gorilla shirts on, the matching shirts, standing in front of Rhett's dad's Dodge Dynasty. That was taken in the parking lot
Probably
of the zoo.
The summer between 6th and 7th grade, maybe between 5th and 6th, definitely one of those two.
Seems right. That was taken in the zoo parking lot where we had just purchased the t-shirts after your dad had picked us up from spending a week in the mountains of North Carolina at Camp Caraway.
I wonder if it's still there. It's gotta still be there.
We did that once and we never went back.
Well, I wanted to go back, but because you puckered up and didn't take a crap the entire week and had a horrible experience, we didn't go back because I wasn't gonna go back by myself.
Well, at night,
you had a tough time.
It would be dark.
It was great, man.
And then the day it would be light, but
it was great.
Not
like
that light.
We went on hikes. We took that one hike out into the middle of nowhere and like slept at this old abandoned camp.
It was dark there too.
We roasted marshmallows. They did these crazy like activities at night with bonfires. I mean,
very dangerous.
I remember loving every part of it, but every time I would check in with you, you would just have this like pained look on your face, like nothing was going well.
It was quite literally out of my comfort zone. I mean, when you line up to take showers and they got like stopwatches and they're like, everybody just gets a couple of minutes.
That was uncomfortable.
And it's a cold shower. And then you're like, if you were gonna poop, somebody could walk right by and see you.
I don't think that's why you didn't poop. I mean,
my body knew.
I didn't poop as much as normal.
Whatever I had when I arrived at camp, my body knew to keep it because it didn't know what else it was gonna get.
Well, but it kept getting camp food the rest of the time. Were you not eating it?
Maybe not. Camp Caraway is still
open.
So,
but you did eventually poop.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. You didn't poop, and then we went to the zoo. Did you poop at the zoo?
I'm sure the animals did. It would be hard to watch, to not poop that long and then go see animals and they're pooping left and right. It's like they're taunting me.
Because it makes me feel different about that picture of us with the gorilla shirts on to know that you're holding a 7 days worth of crap in your large intestine. But the expression on your face is so happy. Because you were so happy to be at the zoo.
I was released, man. I had not experienced that release.
You took a crap at the zoo. There's no way. That's I just crapped a 7-day log face.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a look of relief.
And all I got is this purple t-shirt. That's what the t-shirt should have said.
So we're sending our kids to summer camp. Now, first of all, Locke is gonna be doing the basketball thing most of the summer. Shepard's not going away to a sleepaway camp. He's going to a day camp, but the thing is every other day for like 5, he's gonna be doing a lot by himself. But you're actually doing
Lando's not going to any sleepaway camps, but Lincoln is going, because he went for 1 week last summer with a friend to a sleepaway camp in Michigan, actually, because that's where his friend was already going and had been going. This year he's going with another friend for 2 weeks. Most of the camps, they sell it really hard on the website. It's like, well, the first week, you really gotta stay for 2 weeks if you're gonna make the best of it. And I'm like, you ain't got to talk me into it. I mean, because I'm really concerned about, we got a lot of questions from you guys in responding to our post about the boredom. You know, if you're not working over the summer, you're freaking, what are you gonna do when the Xbox gets old and the trampoline falls through and your pool gets stagnant? You're just gonna be bored. So he's going away for 2 weeks. Lily's going away for 1 week to another camp. I mean, you drop a load on this stuff. I don't mean to bring that back up, but we'll see.
Are you preparing them for that though? They are related to you. Are you?
Well, it's funny. Tell them the story the other night where when your parents were in town and we took them all out to dinner, right? And like Rhett's parents and my mom and her husband Lewis, who, yes, he's technically my stepdad, but I don't call him that.
He calls you his son-in-law.
Does he?
Yeah.
He did that?
I mean, he did that at some point in the past.
Well, that is so sweet. It's technically accurate.
Well, it's technically incorrect.
Oh.
I mean, maybe you are his son-in-law, but that's not typically what son-in-law means.
Yeah.
You're his stepson.
Stepson is accurate.
Yeah.
Son-in-law. I don't call him father-in-law, I just call him
yeah, because that would also be incorrect. You could say stepdad would be.
I don't say stepdad either.
Okay.
I say my mom's husband.
Okay, that's one way to it. Stepdad's a shorter way to it.
I mean, when he arrived, I did give him a hug, and when he left, I gave him another hug.
Okay. I know what you're getting at though.
They're sitting down there talking, and then it's Christy and Jesse, and then me and you, and so like, you know, on long tables, it's like everybody, we're just kind of talking in pairs. Like the two of us are talking to our wives or talking to each other. And then our kids are down at the other end of the table.
Yeah. So
you didn't hear, apparently they were talking about what we're talking about now, about the kids going to summer camp. And then you catch wind of the conversation. You're like, you told them what we just talked about. You're like, well, when Link and I went to summer camp, Link didn't crap the whole week and the table just erupted. And I was like, well, I mean, it's funny, but it's not that funny. And then they were like, Christy was just telling us that when she went to summer camp as a kid, she didn't crap the whole time she was there.
Okay, this is a serious problem.
So we're super compatible.
You're taking a very high constipation potential into these summer camps with your kids. I think that's, I mean. You gotta send laxatives.
That's the key to marriage right there, first of all. Let's just focus on the positive for a second. But yeah, genetically speaking, we're setting up our kids
for a
world of lower GI hurt in the coming weeks. How do you prepare your kids for that? Just say, all right, you know what? For the next few days, kids, you're just gonna take a dump in the backyard.
Yep, that's one way to do it.
And you're gonna have to watch each other.
Yeah, I like that. Another thing you could do is you could begin to slowly transform your home environment into a camp environment. You could begin acting like a camp counselor. You could begin decorating their room a little bit differently. And if they can learn how to crap in that environment, then they'll just carry it right through to the summer camp.
I mean, I didn't dislike camp, and I'm really glad that I'm sure they're gonna enjoy it, and I'm sure they'll poop at appropriate times. I don't think I have to go through this, but all of the rituals of camp are pretty cool. So I hope that the camps that they're going to have those like rituals. I think they all do. Like, you know, even Camp Caraway, it was like
the first night.
Yeah,
I don't remember the details.
The camp counselors did some sort of performance, and the guy sang a song.
I thought they were so cool.
Moon pies and grapes.
Oh,
remember that song?
Yeah, moon pies and grapes.
Moon pies and grapes.
Oh, the best song ever.
I don't know. That guy was so cool. He had a beard back when it wasn't cool to have a beard.
Right.
He was so ahead of his time, singing a song about moon pies and grapes. Of course, my wife went to Meredith College, an all-girls school, which was basically summer camp year round. Because they had all types of rituals that they would do at this thing.
Cornhusking.
And we would go to it. Remember, because I started dating her and I would drag you to this stuff.
I made the mistake of going one year.
They had rituals and stuff.
They would hide the baton.
There was a baton.
They still hiding the baton there?
And it was like
sometimes they hide it under the bridge.
The senior,
They hid it under the bridge over the lake.
I think, I'm gonna get this all wrong, but I'm just gonna say it this way. I think it was a senior class that would hide the baton, and then all year, the junior class, like their job was to find it. That's pretty cool, right? Totally summer camp stuff. This is a college campus.
We should hide a baton around here.
Well, you know, Chase put that picture of himself in our office to cover up the hole where it's the fire valve. And if you want, if like the sprinklers are going off in this place, you want to scramble to turn them off or something.
You got to punch through Chase's face. grab a valve.
Well, he's obstructed. It's if the fire marshal came through here, we'd be fine.
I think it's a fire code.
We'd have Docus pay the level of a fire marshal fine. And then
you found it within a day though, because it was next to your desk.
He was like, oh, you found it. I was like, well, yeah, I found it. I know where everything is down to the millimeter in my office. You can't change anything and me not know it. I'm like, but we moved it, see if you can find it. It's somewhere else in the office, see if you can find it. A few days later, I was like, have you found it? He's like, no, I haven't found it yet. Another day later, I'm like, you see him in passing. I'm like, you found it? You found your picture? He's like, no, I'm not really looking. I was like, you're looking. He's like, I haven't found it. I hadn't moved it. That was the joke. I was like, maybe you should look in my office. And then he comes up and he's like, it's in the same place. I was like, gotcha. It's not in the same place anymore, but okay. I really got him, that skydiving fool.
We should do a baton.
Follow him on Instagram. He skydove. What a weirdo.
Aubrey Bishop. What's the best way to even out a farmer's tan? I'm embarrassed to look like Neapolitan ice cream. I wanted to answer this question because I recently saw myself in the mirror and realized that—
Don't make a habit of looking at that.
I'm working a farmer's tan too. I was. It was really setting in right here.
Yeah, you're talking right at the traps.
I saw myself
at the neckline.
I saw myself in the gym, and because there's mirrors everywhere in the locker room.
Okay.
And I don't really see my back very often. It's not a view that I take in very often. I just
Your back?
don't. Yeah, because you gotta have it's gotta be like a two mirror situation.
A mirror on a mirror.
And I'm not interested in my back, and maybe I should be, but I noticed a very distinct line forming.
Okay.
And I was like, I gotta do something about this. And so, you know how I get up and I do the stretching in the morning with the Barbara, she gets on my chest and then we have the ritual.
You decided to do that outside?
I was like, I'm gonna do sun stretching.
That's cool. That sounds totally LA. And you could sign people up for an Airbnb experience. Come enjoy sun stretching with Mr. McLaughlin.
And it was on Saturday because typically I'm up too early for there to be sun that could actually change your farmer's tan.
Not this summer, man. We are laid back.
But on Saturday, I got up and I had breakfast with the family and then we're hanging out and then it gets to be about 10 o'clock. That's when you start getting into like where the sun's rays can have an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there in just a pair of sweatpants. Not interested in getting my tan on my legs. And sun stretched for a good, 25 minutes or so. I'd highly recommend it.
You gotta watch it. If Barbara jumps on you, then you'd have a Barbara outline on your back, which could be cool actually.
She'd have to stay very, very still.
Sit down, lay down.
But I think can you see it?
Look away a little bit more. I still see it a little bit, but it's not that pronounced.
It's fading.
My father-in-law has a tan, he always wears shorts. He does a lot of grass mowing.
Are you about to tell me you know where your father-in-law's tan lines are? Is this your father-in-law or your stepdad? Because I never know with you which one you're talking about.
I don't call Lewis either, man. I call him my mom's husband.
Okay, so this is your wife's father.
Yeah, this is my father-in-law.
Your actual father-in-law, got it.
Bobby will come in the house, take his shoes and socks off and get in his recliner. And let me tell you, his feet and ankles, he wears like socks that come over his ankles. It's never seen this direct sun.
Right, and it should.
But his legs are really tan because he like fishes and he's outside and he's mowing grass.
And he always wears the same pair of socks.
Yeah.
No flip-flops.
No.
It wouldn't be caught dead in a pair of flip-flops.
It's like a Frankenstein situation.
Well, it's like he's still got socks on.
It's like they attached a Caucasian's foot to a tanner Caucasian. I don't.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't want to get in a race. That would be stupid.
Where are you going with this one?
I don't know. He just super white, man.
Yeah, his unsunned skin.
I'll just say
is very white.
Like a Swedish foot to a Los Angeles surfer dude leg.
Okay, that works. That's better.
Know.
That's safe.
I don't know. I'm in hot water.
You want another question?
Hit me.
Emily Poplinski. Boy, I like to say that name. Poplinski.
Ironically, you're mispronouncing it, but go ahead.
Peplinski? Peplinski? Poplinski.
I think we're done with the pronunciation.
I'm never done with it.
I'm done with it.
I'm not. Well, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was admiring.
If I could orchestrate a way for us to be done with it.
I was just admiring the way that it rolls off the tongue. Hi, Rhett and Link. What are some fun outside games that don't involve a lot of physical activity? I love enjoying the nice weather, but I'm pregnant and get out of breath easily, but also want to have fun with the energized 7-year-old we have. Please help, thank you.
He's got a 7-year-old and another one on the way. He's really, you're spacing them out. But congratulations. My advice is just to get it over with. We're so cynical about the kids in this episode. Let's put a warning at the top.
Yeah. We love children.
Let's just put like, the first thing people are gonna hear, I'll do it now.
Okay, good.
We'll put this at the top. Hello, in this special edition of Ear Biscuits, we just wanted to let you know up top and unequivocally how much we love our children, love spending time with them, and how much we welcome them into not all aspects of our lives, but all the appropriate aspects of our lives. I'm making this weird. It'll make more sense when we get into the episode because this is at the top of the episode. It's not right now in the middle where I'm actually saying it.
To clarify, we love them, we just don't always like them. Is that how it?
Boop. I don't know what, the boop is like the edit
I think
point.
I just made it worse.
Well, I didn't make it great. Let's be real.
I actually like hanging out with them. It's just after a while, they need to do their own thing.
Are we still at the top of the episode? Do I need to boop again?
No.
Congratulations on the pregnancy, but warning, that leads to a child.
When you say get it over with, what do you mean? Go ahead and induce labor?
No, I said I usually give advice to like clump your kids together to get the whole process of like child rearing over with in like a clump.
Yeah, again, we've already been through this, how you shouldn't be giving family planning advice to people.
And I'm not.
The fact is,
we cut that out.
Is that
she has another edit joke.
She's pregnant and she has a 7-year-old, and you're telling her to squish it closer together.
No, I'm saying
it's impossible at this point.
I'm not advising her.
You weren't
listening to me.
All she's asking is what you should be doing for exercise and fun.
Play fetch
outside games
with the 7-year-old. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I think don't call it fetch, but everyone's gonna know it's fetch. You sit down with something the 7-year-old likes, and you throw it. And then if they
how many times do you think that'll work? With a human. This is not a dog.
That's a good experiment.
Typically, in all the times that I've played,
I'm thinking fetch though.
No, but when I've played fetch with 7-year-olds, it's worked the first time.
Yeah, it's not a 2-year-old.
The second time, they're like, what? No. So then what does she do? And I think at that point is when she should play cornhole, which is what I was trying to get to.
Oh, cornhole.
Because cornhole is
close contact cornhole.
A lot of fun.
You don't want 30 feet though.
You can eat and drink while you're doing it. It's really low exertion, but the competition can get incredibly tense. I just recommend cornhole. I mean, even if you got a pool Xbox and what's the other thing?
There's a younger age group.
Pool table?
If you properly clumped your children together, you could have played fetch. But you can't do that with 7-year-old. That's an excellent point. Lisa Marie Brew asks, what is the best thing to bring to a barbecue? I don't understand the question.
Oh gosh, Lisa, your name is Lisa Marie, which is commendable, but the fact that your name is Lisa Marie and you're still using the term barbecue as if it's an event that you go to, I'm gonna have to take this opportunity to correct you. Barbecue is not an event. It isn't a place you go. It is also not the device that you cook hamburgers and hot dogs on. Mm-mm. It is also not a verb. It isn't something you do to meat. Barbecue is a noun, and it only refers to meat that is prepared in a very special way that varies from region to region, mostly around the southern United States. How many times do we have to say this? We have not said it enough.
You can't say it enough. I mean, the day we have to not say it is the day we're in heaven. And if that means that everyone on earth understands, then heaven on earth.
And listen, so I've said that. I don't want to drag on about that.
So let's just
rephrase it.
I'll just re-ask the question.
Re-ask the question.
Lisa Marie, Southern first name, the Southern heart to go along with it.
Her last name is Brew, for goodness sakes.
Brew. Lisa Marie Brew.
Best name ever.
What is the best thing to bring to a cookout?
Okay, now, you mean a place where you'll be cooking things?
Yeah, outside. You're cooking out. You're cooking it out.
The answer is exotic sausages.
Whoa.
Okay, hey.
You're gonna get some sideways looks at the cookout, man.
No. Okay, here's the thing. People are gonna bring burgers.
You mean exotically shaped
No.
sausages?
I feel strongly about this answer.
Exotic
now,
sausages.
it may depend on what you're trying to accomplish, but if you're trying to have a good time, eat some good food, and score some points, get noticed a little bit, you don't want to bring hamburgers or hot dogs. You want to bring exotic sausages. If you're the guy who breaks out the ostrich sausages, everybody's gonna be talking to you.
While you're eating, they're gonna be talking to you about the exotic ostrich sausages while you're eating what they brought to the cookout.
No.
I get it.
Every single person.
Try my ostrich sausage. And hey, you want to trade these? Let me get a little bit of that.
I don't think
burger.
First of all,
beef cow.
You would enjoy it. I mean, you're a very picky man, but here's the thing about all we're talking about is starting a conversation here, making friends. If you bring ostrich sausages, kangaroo sausages, I don't know, I'm probably getting into like endangered species at some point, appropriately raised exotic sausages, not a legal trade, what's gonna happen is people are gonna wanna try it, and you bring enough for everybody to try it. And next thing you know, people are like, oh, Link, ostrich sausage man. And there's a lot of worse.
Not what I want to be known for.
There's a lot of worse things to be known for other than ostrich sausage man. Let me tell you right now.
My answer was deviled eggs.
Okay.
I mean, it's, I'm assuming with cookouts that like, they got like the meats covered, but if it's bring your own meat, okay, I'll go with you because that's, it's a fun little thing that you're doing here for everybody. Everybody gets to taste a little bit of ostrich.
Okay, yep.
But deviled eggs, especially in a cookout environment, are perfect because they're room temperature or warmer. You go to a restaurant, you order a deviled egg, it's gonna come, they've made it a long time ago and it's been refrigerated and that's not.
Sometimes, not always.
That's not good. The best place to eat a deviled egg is when Aunt Slucinda pulls the saran wrap off a plate or two of her homemade deviled eggs.
Does she make that noise or does the plastic make that?
The plastic does it. It kisses the roof of the.
Okay, I love deviled eggs.
The yellow.
If you brought deviled eggs to a cookout, I'd be happier than if you brought ostrich sausages. Here's the problem with deviled eggs. The next day,
fartsies,
somebody gets sick.
Oh, somebody gets sick.
Two people get sick.
They're gonna, even if
Who
it's
they
not,
gonna blame? Who are they gonna blame? They're gonna blame deviled egg man.
The devil.
If you bring deviled eggs to something
devil
and anybody gets
deviled
sick,
eggs.
The blame falls on you.
Why do you think they call them deviled eggs?
I mean, you got Eddie over there
devil.
Cooking the chicken breast and not cooking it all the way to the bone.
What internal temperature of sausage when it's ostrich does it need to be? Nobody knows, but they're still gonna blame the deviled eggs. Katie Ritchie. Her name is actually Kate Ritchie. She's got a Jeep icon.
Yeah, I see that.
Sounds like we're having a sexist reaction. Like a female can't have a Jeep. Well, that's not what we were doing.
No.
Well, then why were we saying?
I was like, that's cool. It's because every other icon on here is just somebody's face. It's a Jeep. You're sexist for thinking we had a sexist reaction.
That's true. But I'm not sexist. I just want to say that.
Yeah, you're not helping.
Kate Ritchie. I'm going on vacation with my best friend near the end of summer. Okay, cool. What should we do during the 12-hour car ride to make it extra enjoyable? Well, you I mean, you've picked your best friend, so you got a good compadre for this thing. I mean, it took an hour and a half to drive and pick up my mom and my
stepdad,
her spouse,
her husband.
And I took Lando with me because I liked hanging out with him, because I love all my children.
Yeah.
And I look for any opportunity to hang out with any of them. Plus, I needed to legally drive in the carpool lane. And I was like, shut up, you're only here so I can drive in the carpool lane. No, I didn't say that. Because he was like, Dad, let's play the alphabet game. So you're looking around, I'm just brainstorming here. For us, I mean, it literally, for an hour and a half, we played 2 games. I'm just gonna pitch these. I don't think this is what they should play, but I think it might be the start of something that they can do. You'd look for a word that started with the letter that you were on. So I have A, so I'm like, oh, Allagash Lane. And then he has B, and he has to find a B in signage or bumper sticker.
I know how it works.
Oh, you do? And then we played another game where it was still the alphabet, but it was, you say your name, you say your best friend's name, you say your favorite food, and you say where you're from. So if it was G, it'd be like, hi, my name's Gary. My best friend's name is Gertrude. My favorite food is Galapagos turtles. And
that's real bad.
No, I'm from the Galapagos Islands and my favorite food is jelly.
How about grapes? Since that starts
grape
with
jelly.
Moon pies and grapes.
We had a lot of fun with that.
Eating turtles. Huh?
I mean, that got us an hour and a half.
Okay. No books on tape?
The overlap between Lando and our books on tape taste is not.
Okay, all right.
There's no, the Venn diagram looks like 2 tires on a truck.
I don't think that's gonna get 12 hours. So I do think that you can play that game for a while, about as long as you can play fetch with a 7-year-old human.
My advice sucks today. That's what you're saying.
No. Well, I think that one of the things. I didn't
say it was advice. It's just, I said we're beginning a brainstorming.
Okay, well.
And now you're saying, well, since neither one of those ideas have led to.
I'll add to it.
That's fine.
I just don't think they're gonna take the whole trip.
You don't have to yes and it. This is not improv
No,
class.
I think you're gonna.
I don't even like those people.
I think you're gonna agree with my suggestion. Rest stops are really underrated. You know what I'm saying? Let's put things into perspective here. You're already paying for them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're ours. They're
the communities, man.
They're the citizens.
They're the public.
They're the rest locale for any citizen.
And have you been to one lately?
Where anything goes.
Have you? Listen, rest stops got a bad rap. You know?
This is how it goes. I'm a rest stop. I'm at the side of the road. You're driving real fast and then you pull in slow and you stop. You get out, you go to the bathroom. You see a weird dude by the trash can. You run back to your car and you leave as quick as you can. As quick as you can.
Okay. You don't agree? I thought you would be with me on this.
I am, it's great.
I mean,
no,
anything you want to eat, anything you want to drink.
Vending machines,
large
water
bathrooms.
Fountains.
There's usually a grassy area. You can play fetch with your 7-year-old. You could play cornhole if you got a mobile set. They won't stop you. I've tried that.
Well, you don't want to do anything that's gonna slow down the trip. You gotta keep moving. If it's a 12-hour drive, no. You don't want to play cornhole at every rest stop.
But I think you should stop, but think of all the time you save with the rest stop, because you just get off an exit and you're there and then you get back on the exit. There's no like, which way do I go?
I would recommend packing special food items, and then instead of stopping to eat, having picnics at rest stops, and bring enough for friends. There are other people who are there. Some people are on their last leg at a rest stop. They need a little fried chicken.
I'm not talking about at night. Let me just clarify. I'm talking about day rest stops.
Oh yeah, broad daylight.
Don't go at nighttime.
What about dancing across state lines like we did in the Mythical road trip? I mean, we drove all the way across the country in a U-Haul pulling a minivan.
I feel like
we stopped at every state line.
I feel like it's dangerous.
And danced across. It was dangerous to find a parking spot on the side of the road to run back to the.
Getting out on the interstate and walking you're just in the danger zone, especially now with texting and driving. Like people end up getting into the shoulder. Like I will not change a tire if I haven't had a flat tire on the interstate.
All the advice we've given today has been so unsafe. Why can't we just continue?
No, what I'm saying is, if I get a flat tire on the roadside,
yeah,
I'm calling AAA, man. I'm not, especially if it's on the inside, if it's on towards the road, I'm not getting out and trying to change my tire with the people texting and driving, man.
Yeah, you do have to pull over really far if you want to.
But what if there's a wall? What if there's a wall and you can't get that far over? I'm not getting on that side of the car because people swerve. They're not thinking. They're not just texting or driving, but people they swerve. I'm not gonna take that chance. I'm gonna make the AAA man take that chance.
My papa, when he was I don't think he was the chief of police, but he was a policeman before he became the chief, and he pulled somebody over just on this side of the Lillington Bridge. And he gets, the person pulls over and then he gets out of the car and goes back, and he's talked to the person, he's got their ID, and then he's coming back to his patrol car. And then he sees this bread truck coming down the road, and it's drifting off of the road, and he can tell that it's not seeing him as he's walking on the shoulder back to the car. He runs back to his patrol car, gets in the car and slams the door just in time to get smacked by a freaking Wonder Bread truck. He was hospitalized, and there was no permanent damage. I was very young when this happened, but I remember, in the stories in retrospect.
Did he get Wonder Bread for life? Did he get like a loaf of Wonder Bread?
I don't think there was any lasting damage, but it just goes to even a flashing patrol car, the lights flashing, not the whole car. That'd be kind of cool though.
Yeah,
it's a dangerous place.
You don't want to get on the side of the road. So I can't, in good conscience, I can't give that advice to dance across state lines on the shoulder. We did that at our own risk.
Well, we don't have anything for Kate then. We haven't got anything.
Rest stops in the alphabet.
Picnics?
Alphabet. That's good advice. I admit, Kate, that's not very good. You got a Jeep, just go off road. That's what you should do.
You should drive as the crow flies to wherever you're going.
Yeah, forget the road trip, just make it a trip.
The 12-hour car ride is gonna turn into a 14-day Jeep excursion.
On. That is an excellent idea. You get a map and you map the straight line as the crow flies from where you are and where you want to go, and then you GPS that sucker, and then you just right through people's yards, right through people's pools, Xboxes,
what about houses?
Trampolines.
Oh, this is safe. Now you're giving safe advice.
It's safe for them. It's not safe for the people in the path.
It's not an armored car.
You get a couple of miles.
I don't even know if it's just because it's in the icon doesn't mean she has it.
2 more.
I could go all day, man. Don't hold back.
I got a quick one here from Brittany Nawara. Okay. Nawara. What are the best summer movies to watch? Okay, I've got a list of 5.
Off the top? Off your top? That's what the rappers, the freestylers say.
No, this isn't off the top. I looked at this question and I have my 5 movies, and I just want to see what you think about. I think these are the 5 movies that if you're gonna watch 5 movies this summer, you got to watch these 5 movies.
All right, hit me.
They're all summer themed. That's kind of where I went with this. If you haven't seen them, especially Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I should check that one out.
My dad watched this with Shepard the other day, and my dad said, I was watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off with Shepard, and like 7 or 8 times during the movie, he would stop, slap the pillow and say, man, I love this kid.
You talking about Ferris Bueller?
Yeah.
He should have invited me. I haven't seen it.
Oh gosh. You haven't seen it?
I know about it.
Okay, well this is your list. Goonies.
I've seen that. I saw it 2 years ago.
Okay, that's a great summer movie. If you haven't seen that, I mean,
it holds up.
Do the Right Thing. That's a good summer movie.
I have not seen that.
Oh gosh.
I feel like, I think you would have thought I would have seen that one. Because all of the soundtrack for that is amazing.
You need to go.
I've watched the soundtrack.
You need to go home and watch this tonight. Do the Right Thing out of all these is the one you need to watch. The Endless Summer. You've seen that.
The surfing movie?
Yeah.
I think I know that I've seen it, but I might have fallen asleep. Oh gosh. It's a pretty soothing movie. It's just kind of people surfing.
And here's a curveball summer movie. The River Wild.
Meryl Streep?
Kevin Bacon.
Hold on, tell me that Meryl Streep is not in that movie.
I think she is.
Yeah, she is, right?
And Kevin Bacon.
The River Wild. I saw that in the movie theater.
Oh.
With you.
Oh, okay, we saw it.
And I think it's because, going back to all the river shenanigans from earlier, I think that's why we saw that. She was a river guide, and Kevin Bacon.
Don't say what, you can't say anything about it. You can't say what he is, because you spoil it.
I don't remember what he was.
Oh, okay, all right. He just goes on a trip with him. It's a good movie.
Well, you just kind of, you soft spoiled it. Now everybody's gonna be watching Kevin Bacon with eagle eye.
It happens pretty early.
What about A River Runs Through It?
It's not a summer movie, it's just a river movie.
What about Cape Fear?
It's another river movie.
What about, let's talk more about river movies.
Well,
name another river movie.
You just named some really good ones.
Name another river movie.
Mystic River?
Oh, Rivertasia. It's the Disney, there's lots of dancing, it's animated.
River's Edge.
What is River's Edge? Something that you read off of Feldman's phone.
I don't know what it is. Okay, last question.
Summer's great, man. There's even if you're working, there's a freedom. It's like traffic's gone down. Have you noticed?
Because of the kids.
It's amazing.
They're not in school.
How much LA traffic goes down in the morning, especially. I mean, in the afternoon, not so much but I think the kids are off. They're out of the moms are off the streets taking their kids to school. Or dads. I take my kid to school.
Sexist. Elon Costa. What do I do if I live in the other side of the world and it's winter?
That's a good point. We've been all excited about going to Australia. We realize it's their winter. And so the answer is you buy tickets to the Tour Mythicality Aussie edition.
We're gonna be in Sydney, we're gonna be in Brisbane, and we're gonna be in Melbourne.
Yes. We're gonna be gallivanting all around the place with our family. With a footprint as big as we're gonna have, you probably the odds of you running into us are through the roof. That's not a challenge, by the way. We just want to come see us at the show and don't try to find us anywhere else.
Tourmythicality.com. Seriously, if you're in Australia, come on, come out.
I think I'm bringing
it's winter time.
I think
It'll be warm in there.
I'm bringing a coat. It's not that, in Australia it's not that cold when we're going there in the winter.
Like what are the temps?
But, I mean, I think 30s to 60.
30s is pretty cold, man.
It's probably not cold to most people, but it's freezing to me. I'm bringing like a heavy coat. I'm bringing a whole bag that's just full of coats.
Coat bag. Okay, I'll put my coat in there. That's it. That's all the advice that we have.
I think there's just so much freedom with the summer. I love it. I love summer, man. It's great.
It's your favorite season?
No, fall is my favorite season.
So when it's all ending? When death is upon us?
There's a freshness to fall, I feel like, actually. It's not a death to me. It's like I don't know.
To me, it's
change is exciting.
The transitions. The transitions into every season.
Of course, we don't have that out here in Los Angeles.
Oh, there's a teeny bit, but not nearly the amount of transition that we got in North Carolina. That is one thing that I miss, is the transition into fall. And then that first day of spring, not literally the first day of spring, but when you kind of realize that spring is happening, but then all of a sudden it's like 100 degrees.
going into spring is a problem because of the pollen and stuff.
Pollen.
And then you go into summer and it's like it's very smoggy and gloomy out here. But then it starts to clear up some late in the fall.
We're enjoying it.
Now we're just talking about the weather.
Yeah.
This podcast sucks all of a sudden.
It just turned into an episode of the Californians. We talked about traffic and weather right at the end.
Oh gosh, what have we done?
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Ear Biscuits. Thank you for all your questions. As we asked you last week, if there's somebody out there that you think might enjoy summer advice and podcasts, share this Ear Biscuit with them. If they
might be a parent who says that we had no need to apologize or hedge with the things we said about our kids.
They might be a pregnant woman with a 7-year-old that they like to play fetch with. I don't know. They might be somebody who loves their kids or likes their kids or is just tolerating their kids. Everybody on that spectrum is welcome.
Summer and pregnancy, those are two things that you should not combine if you can help it.
And very important, last thing we wanna say is that after next week's episode, we'll be back with another episode just like always next week, but then we are taking a short 3-week summer break because we just weren't relaxed enough. So we're taking a short break. We got some other things going on in kind of preparation for our trip across the world. And then we'll be back on July 30th.
We'll have a freshman. So it'll be 3 weeks that you can mine some older Ear Biscuits. And lastly, I'll just say, continue to give us feedback, #Ear Biscuits. We gave a little speech about the morphine of this show in the last episode. We appreciate that feedback. We are processing it, and we'll continue to process as a response to this prompt, #Ear Biscuits. Let us know what you're thinking. What resonates with you? What do you appreciate about this show, or about me? Just kidding.
I don't need any feedback.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk at you next week.
Yes. To hear this Ear Biscuit in its entirety and make sure you don't miss an episode, follow the links in the description to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else podcasts are available.
To watch more Ear Biscuits, click on the playlist on the right.
To watch more of our daily show, Good Mythical Morning, click the playlist on the left.
And don't forget to click the circular icon to subscribe.
Thanks for being your mythical best.